things that we've been through. Life is better with you.
Hey guys, I'm Brian.
And I'm Allison.
And this is
Our Life in Front of the Bleachers.
So we're excited to have some guests with us tonight. And these two people mean the world to me and my wife, because I was starting out as a coach, and one of the first jobs I had was in the mountains of Virginia, and it was at a school that was 8 through 12. I see him having to adjust the shirt just so I can see some Duke paraphernalia, I think. Is that what that is? It's going to be there in a minute, but they're just such awesome people. And what they've gone through in their lives certainly is a testament to love and faith, but beyond measure that they are inspirations to all kinds of people because of what they've endured and what kind of people they've continued to be. But they're just great people. He was a basketball and football player for us in high school. I coached him on the JV when I was a JV coach, and then I became the varsity basketball coach. And going into his junior year, he was going to be on the varsity basketball team after having already been playing varsity football in the fall. But Rick, this is Rick Hill and Josh Hill that you guys can see. Rick, thanks for being there with us. Thanks for being on with us. And we'll go back through some of those memories. And you're a great friend and great family, and we want to go ahead and share your message. So tell us a little bit about that fateful night that happened Josh's junior year.
Well, I play drums with a gospel group, and we were playing down near Martinsville, and Josh's brother Daniel was playing in Stewart, and we got through playing. I was trying to get back because Josh was going to go by and see Daniel, and I was trying to get back in time to see him before he left so I could ride with him back home, because he hadn't had his driver's license too long. And when I got there, Daniel said, Josh said he was really tired and really wanted to go home. So we left, and when we was coming out of Stewart, we saw all kinds of lights, emergency lights. And I told my wife to pull over, and I was going to run up and help with the accident because I was a member of the rescue squad and had been all my life. Had no idea it was Josh. And when I got up there, I didn't even recognize the car. And then I did recognize it, and I found out how real my God was that night. He was hit by a carload of drunk people, and it just destroyed the car Josh was in. And when I got there, he was still in the car, and I lost it. They got him out and flew him to Baptist by helicopter to Baptist Hospital. And he was in a coma there all the time he was there. He was there probably 2.5 months. And then they transferred him to Charlotte. And they started working with him, and they actually got him out of his coma. But it was a night that I've never, wouldn't want anybody to experience that before, all because of a drunk driver.
Yeah, and I can't even fathom what you felt or the lack thereof when you were seeing him lay so helplessly there, and you've probably felt helpless as well. And I commend you for all that you have become and that you endured in that time. And we were talking about that fateful night, and I was at my father's football game, I think in Virginia Beach or wherever they were playing at Christopher Newport. And we were driving back, and I know Allison was talking last night about her recollection.
So it was a Sunday. We stayed over Saturday night when the accident happened, and Sunday morning, as we were coming back early, getting ready to get everything ready for basketball season the next day, he just kept saying, I just have a feeling something's wrong. I feel like something's happened to the kids, that something bad's happened this weekend. And then we came in and we had a voicemail to call. I don't know who called us. I think it was maybe another parent had called and left a message on our voicemail, and called right away. So
yeah, pushing that button on the answer machine back in that day and hearing those kind of messages when you walk in, your heart drops. But my recollections of Josh as a player, as a person, as he still is with all the character that he still has inside, but he was the very best teammate that I've ever coached. The most energy, really good free throw shooter. You know, I was a basketball coach and thought that that was what I was going to be. And, you know, reality kicked in when you're playing against some guys that have a lot bigger kids. But Josh's heart was so big for his teammates. He just loved everybody and he worked his tail off every
He didn't
single
have
day.
he didn't have the height, but he had the hustle,
He did.
and
He did.
and
And
he would make sure everybody else was doing what they needed to do too.
Mhm.
oh, without a doubt. And he absorbed his role knowing that he wasn't going to be the superstar. He just wanted to make sure that he was a part of that team and encouraged everybody along the process of, hey, if I can do it as hard as I'm going to do it, you're going to do the same. So going into that junior season, you know, he was likely going to be, you know, in the mix to be playing a good bit. And
Yeah.
then we were supposed to start practice that Monday. So I know that wasn't the first thought on your mind by any stretch as
Well,
you.
do you remember where y'all had your first practice?
Well, yeah,
You,
we didn't practice for a while, as I recall.
y'all were down in the waiting room with us
Yeah,
in intensive care. You brought everybody down that first night,
yeah, and I
and
don't.
that meant so much to us. But the other thing that really touched us was when Josh had to have part of his brain removed.
Mm.
You got the kids loaded up on the bus in the middle of the day and had them down in the hall clapping when he come out of the operating room.
Yeah,
I'll just never forget that.
well, it was as much for you as it was for Josh and everybody else around, but even indirectly, I think it was supposed to be for those kids that were there. They needed to see the impact of bad decisions of other drivers and other
Yeah.
people and what kind of
I don't
impact.
know. I don't know of any other coach that would do that. I
I
really don't.
don't know about
So,
that. I don't know about that. I don't know of any father that would be better than
well,
you have been. And I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say it again. You've been an ongoing inspiration for our family, me specifically as a father, for going on, you know, 20 plus years now, Rick. And
well,
what you were able to do in the face of all that adversity and keeping your faith and loving your son and having a positive feeling about what life you guys are going to lead in spite of all the circumstances. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what life is like now. And even those days as he were getting out of the hospital, what was life like in those early stages and what's it like now?
well, Josh, his injuries. He's a quadriplegic with a brain injury, and so pretty much we have to do everything for him. Dressing, put him into bed, feeding him. Uh, his mom and I uh, have been divorced since he was about 2 years old, and she takes care of him uh, Monday through Thursday, and I get him Thursday through Sunday. And so, we both have a break, but uh, like I said many times, we all have our heroes in life. Josh is my hero because he has been through so much, and he can still manage to put a smile on his face. And he's touched so many lives. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
People that he has, uh, people that have stepped back and taken a second look at alcohol. Uh, Morgan Shepherd, one of the NASCAR drivers, has Josh in his ministry, and he's gotten emails from people in Russia that have quit drinking because they've heard Josh's story and seen some of his videos.
Well, I know you guys even came to some other jobs that I've had and spoken to the student populations and such, and you could see the immediate impact on those teenagers. And that, you know, one of the
I've still got those letters that some of the kids wrote me, and the one that really stands out was the the boy said sent a card and said, "Because of you, I'm grounded." He said, "I was so upset after hearing Josh's story. I went home and poured all my daddy's Jack Daniels down the commode.
Well,
And he said, but it's worth every bit of it. I got his attention. So,
well, that's awesome. And you never know with teenagers
yeah.
how far your impact goes and how long it takes for them to absorb it. And then sometimes it's very frustrating because some of those teens, as you would think, seeing that, being around Josh after the accident would have changed and shaped them. But teenagers are still, sometimes ignorant and such. But
Yeah. The other problem is they live it at home too, Brian. It's a lot of poor parenting going on. And,
yeah,
you are what you learn.
yeah.
But life did change, but God has got us through it all. And, you know, we've managed to keep our faith intact. And uh, we're just thankful we still have him.
Well, you guys are just such good people. And my first interactions with the Hill family came because of Daniel. And Daniel, your oldest, playing football there, and he was an awesome character kid. So, apples and trees, right? The apples don't fall too far from trees. So you're right about
Yep.
that. Parenting has a huge impact on what our kids become. And they don't either just become good or bad. It has a lot to do with the expectations and demands of the parents. So you need to be commended for that. And people need to hear your story more. And we hope that we can use our platform to maybe let people know this. Would you want to share any information on how people could, maybe get in touch with you and ask
Well,
questions or whatever?
the best way would be my email. And if you can send me your email, I will send you videos and stories about Josh and things you can print out and share. My wife and I wrote a song years ago entitled, How Much Does a Carton of Beer Cost? And it tells what it's cost, what Josh has had to pay for that night that somebody else bought a carton of beer. And we have put that into a video, and that's what we use when we go out and speak to schools. And I have a couple of interviews with some of the local news stations in Winston-Salem and Raleigh that I send out, plus, a copy of that. And then Josh's story, which, is just unbelievable what he's been through and where he's at now. But, at Baptist, they told us he would never talk because of they removed that part of the brain that allows you to talk. But you can talk now, can't you?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I think you want to say go Tar Heels, don't you? Isn't that your favorite phrase? Go Tar Heels?
Josh, he didn't say go Duke. He said Tar Heels. You need to straighten him out on there.
Oh, I'm better than that.
Well,
Yeah,
we've had that ongoing dialogue over the years because it used to be
All the
that
time.
every time a Carolina Duke would play, we'd be calling each other left and right. I guess we've fallen out of sort and don't have as much interest in that, and I certainly don't watch it as much, or at least with the same energy. But
yeah.
I know you guys do.
This is a brick right here that's in Durham right now. It says, "With love for Josh Hill, the biggest Duke fan," and it's at Coach K's church, and he's got a brick down there, so
Very nice.
he's still a big Duke fan. But
Yeah, I know you guys have been to several of those games and been able to see a lot of things. And that's one thing that just because he's been, relegated to a wheelchair, you guys go out of your way just to go experience life. And I think that's
yeah,
something that needs to be expressed too, that no matter the circumstances, we still need to live. And you guys live
yeah.
with a smile on your face. So talk about some of those experiences that you guys had and what some of your favorite ones.
Well, we just got back yesterday. We went to Raleigh. I took Josh to a concert. It was a group called Blink 182, and they started out in the 90s, and Josh liked them before he got hurt. And what's so amazing is with his brain injury, he may not know what day it is, but he knows about every word of all those songs that they did. And during the concert, he was singing with them, and it just it touched my heart to to know that he's pulling stuff out that hadn't been used in 20-some years or so. But we go
It also
to
goes to show that maybe doctors don't know everything.
that's right, because they told us he'd never talk, and we left Baptist. He still wasn't out of his coma, and we went to Charlotte Institute of Rehab, and they were working with him. And I was there one Saturday morning, and you get a silly song in your head, and I was sung it out, didn't realize I was doing it, and I went, "Whoa, Black Betty," and Josh went, "Grandmother." So that was you had to scrape me off the ceiling, because not only did he talk, but he remembered some silly song from the 70s.
And I
So,
think I remember, I guess you were down in Charlotte at the time, because I remember Brian came in so excited that he was writing something, a number, but he wrote it in Roman numeral instead
yeah.
of
So
regular numbers. And he was like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. That's so exciting."
See, there's 3 numbers that Josh claims. One is 33. That was his when he played elementary school. The other one was 42. That was his basketball. And the other one was 45. That was his football.
Mhm.
And anytime he see those numbers, he said, "That's mine. That's mine."
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Well, I mean, when you look back on it all there, Rick, I know that it was so torturous on everybody as that went through, but as you said before, you guys are such inspirations, and I know you say he is, and he is. Josh, you the man. I am so proud of you, and I am so proud to have coached you, and I have such great memories of you running line drills and setting screens and, you know, running up and down the floor and encouraging everybody else. When you weren't in the game, you were the first one off the bench, clapping your hands and cheering everybody on. When you were in the game, you brought amazing energy, and everything picked back up. And I'm so proud of you and the person you've become. But Daddy, I'm proud of you as well. I think you are certainly one of a kind.
Well, thank you. We try to spread our story, and we speak in schools and churches and anywhere we spoke to minor league baseball teams, anywhere anybody wants us to come and talk, we will. We sort of took a break through COVID, and we're just now getting ready to get back out and do a few things again. But it's been a blessing, and just trying to help people is what we're after.
Well, give us
So,
your email if you don't mind calling it out, and
okay.
then I'll make sure it's put up later on so everybody can see it.
Okay, it's Rick Hill, RickHill, at SightStar, and that's SIT as in Tom, ST as in Tom, AR, SightStar.net.
And we'll make
And
sure it's put up at the bottom of the screen right here.
Yep. So they'll have it there, and we'll see over the next weeks what you get. And
and
what kind of
anybody,
messages do you expect from people? What would you want to hear from?
anybody, any questions, anything, I just love getting Josh's story out to people. And I will, if anybody sends me their email, I'll send them probably 5 or 6 emails that have videos and stories and different things like that.
Well,
So we welcome anything, and we like to help anybody.
well, we love you guys, and we thank you so much for coming on. And we're just getting started with our venture, but we're getting towards the latter part of our career, and we're reminiscing on all the stories that have impacted us. And I can't think of another story that's impacted us more, or people who've had a greater impact than you guys have. So
Well,
thank you guys so much.
well, I want to say a couple more things if I got time here. You remember, we couldn't ask for a better coach than you. And you were there with Josh sitting in intensive care when he was totally in a coma, talking to him. I remember, I don't know if it was the first game y'all played, but
Mhm.
I come up to it, and halftime, you put 42 seconds on the board. And you had that whole gym screaming and hollering Josh Hill for 42 seconds. And that'll be one of the videos I'll send out if anybody wants to see it. But, you know, there's very few people in the world anymore that care enough to go beyond the field and beyond the bleachers. And we just thank you so much, you and Allison both, for being a part of our life and still communicating. And I've watched your children grow up, and you've watched mine. So, but we just thank y'all so much for your time in Patrick County.
Well, we love you guys, and thanks for the kind words. But you know, good people bring out the good in others, and you guys brought the good out in me and brought the good out in so many others. So keep spreading that message and sharing your story and staying positive. And if you guys ever need anything, you know where to reach me for sure. But Josh, we love you, buddy, and go Heels.
I love you too, baby. Go, dude.
Well, we love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. Y'all take care. Hey guys, this is our
Life in front of the bleachers.
till next time. Thanks.